Hello everyone and welcome back to a Grey Hammer. Today we're going to be constructing an habitat for a bunch of all the great apes and lesser apes of Asia. So we're kind of creating this walkway that goes over their habitat. We're also going to have Asian Small-Clawed Otters in the water section. So we're doing kind of a classic monkey ape island is kind of the style. But with a little bit of a twist is that we are doing kind of these research stations that you'll be walking through. I already built the island and I had it recorded, but I didn't show that. It's just basic terrain work, and we've got a pier there for the otters to get into the water. So yeah, we're just kind of creating a basic frame for the kind of conservation stations, conservation outpost. So that's where you'll learn about the animals. I start with this frame here, but I'm gonna end up using something different. These PVC panels I think work really well. And of course they don't work great for me, but I end up making them work. And then once we create this basic frame, we're going to be able to create the other two. So we're going to have Bornean Orangutans in this first habitat, then we're going to have Siamangs, and then we're going to have Lar Gibbons, and then the Asian Small-Clawed Otter can go in between them all and can go in the Bornean Orangutan exhibit. These monkey islands, while they look pretty bare here at the start, they are going to look significantly better. And then we'll have back viewing for the Indian hoofstock that, if you're watching my streams recently, then that's what I've been building, and you should definitely go ahead and check out my stream. If you're watching this on the day that it drops on Friday, I will be streaming, finishing up my Asian elephant habitat, which you'll be able to see from this building, so that's pretty cool. You'll get a really good view from this building. And this is a great way to get guests into this Asian animal because we have a lot of Asian area. We have a lot of very high appeal animals here. So things like the Bornean orangutan is now our most appealing exhibit species over the jaguar. Personally, I prefer watching jaguars over orangutans, but Planet Zoo seems to think that orangutans are more interesting to watch. Maybe they are, but my local zoo's orangutan enclosure is not much to talk about, so perhaps that's why all the orangutans that I see in zoos are pretty boring. We're going to start working on the floor for this observation area, and we had to add power. And what kind of power for like an eco-friendly area would we want besides solar powered? So that kind of works into our conservation theming. We can really get into that. This is also going to be a great way for us to get conservation credits because we're going to have endangered species in pretty much all of these habitats. I think the only one that's not endangered is the Asian Small-Clawed, with the orangutans being critically endangered. And here we are, we're trying to create this idea of like it's a flooded rainforest. Gosh, don't know why that was escaping my mind. And the idea is that this is going to be kind of the climbing frames that the orangutans are going to be able to come through. And they'll also form the basis of the others, but they won't have as many spots to go. At first I was going to do it with rope, and maybe I should have, but then I remembered, no, I should not have done it with rope because the orangutans can only brachiate off of these log pieces. I'm not going to show me putting all these log pieces into place, just kind of a general shape there. So that's kind of, yeah, didn't want to do all that, but here we are kind of creating, or starting to create, the platforms that the orangutans will be swinging from and kind of just hanging out. And I wanted to get just a general platform there using the mud pillar technique. And then just kind of rotate that around 18 million times, which is going to be hid by my subscribe sticker for a bit. But there we go. Also, so this one we cover 3 habitats, right? And I'm beginning to think that this may not be feasible in the long term for me to cover this many habitats in each video. So next episode I'm going to just be doing the video on the Asian elephant habitat. Let me know in this video if you think that would be good. It will be a lot slower of a speed build. It will be a lot easier for me to edit. Because let me just tell you, these are a pain to edit. I also wanted to connect these a little bit better, but so yeah, while these are a pain to edit, I think that it would be significantly easier if instead of me making 3 habitats at once and trying to edit it all down into one, like based off the building, I'll just build the buildings in sections, and so that will give us plenty of just different plenty of different content to kind of talk about, and we'll kind of make the speed builds a little bit slower so y'all can actually like follow along significantly better. I don't have to cut out as many things. I cut out a lot of things out of this video, which is fine, but it's not ideal. I'd much prefer to have a whole lot of like the content that I record, because, well, I mean, it's not easy. A lot of this stuff. So here we are kind of creating the staff area. It's just gonna kind of wind away there. It's not hidden away in this episode, but I will hide it away in the future. This kind of becomes my blueprint area for the Asian section of our zoo. And here we are kind of building the backstage areas. I do a significant amount on the backstage in these enclosures that does not get, not much of it gets put into the video. I'll do my best to explain it, and it doesn't get into the cinematics as well because it just I didn't finish the roof on the actual like backstage areas, so that's going to need work for sure. And so here I was kind of creating the where we exit off the path, and here we are kind of creating the backstage areas of the shelter for the orangutans. And so now I'm just kind of bringing these bars along. So this is kind of a more dated section of the zoo. I'm not going to show all of the bars being put in because, as you can tell, there's quite a few. But yeah, I don't think for most I don't think you'd see this type of bar. You'd probably see like a wire mesh, but I wanted to keep it kind of a little bit historic. This would be like one of the zoo's first big like primate buildings, so it was kind of their claim to fame. We had to get some more money. That's why you can see that kind of weird cut. Also, can I just say I hated putting this section in. It was just a pain. It was not fun. But here we go, we're almost done. And now we can start working on the actual habitats. I want to thank everyone who's showed up on the live streams here. In fact, we even had Adam up. He showed up on this live stream. It was really, really cool to see. And so y'all should definitely go check his channel out. He does a lot of great tutorials, and he's one of the people who's definitely inspired some of the pieces. He got me back into Planet Zoo, for one. Well, I mean, the Zookeeper Animal Pack got me back, but Adam Up made me care about building. Before I just cared about building habitats, and not necessarily even great habitats. I just wanted to see all the animals. Always been an animal guy. But here we're working on this cladding, but in more direct inspiration, kind of based my roof off of some of his styles of roof. So Adam Up, if you ever watch this video, appreciate it, and hopefully I didn't do too big of a shame onto your kind of two-toned flat roof. I think it made it look significantly more interesting. But I will say, the whole idea of this building is we don't want it to be noticed as much. So that's why we're kind of doing this rock cladding. That way, you don't really see the building. You're really just trying to see the animals. And I'm not going to show all the cladding on this video because it would take forever. I spent so many hours building like rock cladding. It's not very fun, let me just tell you that much. But it gets a lot easier once I finish the first section, because I don't know if you can tell, but I'll just kind of copy some areas. Also, believe it or not, that step is too big for an otter, so had to update that. But lots of things, you know, in Planet Zoo, you're always going to get updates that you're going to have to do for your habitats. There I was just trying to break up that rock pattern. You only have so many sides with this cladding, so just kind of trying to make it look a little bit more non-repetitive. I think I do a decent job at it, but definitely could do some other things as well to make it a little bit nicer. Here I am, and for some odd reason I didn't cut this section as well. So you're gonna see my face here. So this is from the live stream. Apologies for that. Maybe I'll cut it out after this voiceover if I have time. I probably will. So you won't see my face. But if you want to see me, you can go ahead and check out my live streams. We have a lot of fun. And they've been doing really well recently, content-wise, which isn't everything, but I like to think that at least it means people are watching me. We had something like 100 viewers on our latest one, which is pretty cool. Not all at once, but in total. So this is kind of an area, I don't think I showed adding those rocks, but that was to connect the elephants to the rest of the area. So here we are just kind of putting some reeds. I don't show all of this either, just because there's a lot of it. Also, you can see me. Well, I guess you can't see me because I'm going to edit that out. But I was drinking coffee there, and I'm about to take a sweet coffee here. But here I am putting kind of an electric wire. I remember when I was building this, it was kind of a bit on the crunch time because I had events that I was going to, so I was like, I need to get as many things built as I possibly can. But I added the wire all along the top, and here we're going to create a nest box, kind of similar idea. I think this is right when I got back from that event, I streamed again, because I've been enjoying this zoo so much. Also, I hate the way that the game decides building works sometimes. It's quite annoying. I will say also, on this video, it probably has some of the best cinematic shots I've done ever, so please go ahead and like this video if you like those newer kind of cinematic shots that I've not tried before. It's would help me out quite a bit. But here we are just kind of creating these nest boxes for the otters using all this different wood panels. Also, I made some custom donation bins, some custom trash cans, some custom vending machines. So you're going to see those in the cinematics. I didn't show all the building because that would have just made this video super long. And here I am kind of creating a custom wire rack that will be for the storage for the back stage area. Yeah, one of the reasons I think that, and first I was going to do a shelf, and then I kind of came to the conclusion that a wire rack would make more sense. We have a lot of them at my work, so this is kind of the piece that I wanted to use. And I kind of hate it and kind of like it at the same time. So it was definitely a pain to make. And so at first I tried to use this mesh, but it turns out you can't make it the sections of it smaller as well as easily. Yeah, so that didn't work out. So then I go to these pieces, and originally I was going to make them really small, like you would actually see in a wire rack, but I figured with Planet Zoo I didn't want to make too many pieces because I don't want to lag out my game in the future. So this is kind of how we did it, and unfortunately it was very difficult to select all these pieces, which is kind of a common theme in Planet Zoo. So here I am just kind of trying to create these shelves, and yeah, struggling really badly. I think I ended up just deciding, well, we'll just make it not as crazy. But here we go, kind of just bringing that shelf in. And yeah, I think I ended up just, let's just go ahead and, gosh, no, it just took me forever. You can see the pain happening in real time. I just want you to know that this was quite honestly the most frustrating thing, but we're kind of doing this for our backstage area so this way we can kind of store all the apes' food, and we can kind of use this as a hub for just different animals in this general area. So here we go, we're just going to do the mesh like this. To be fair, the pieces we're doing in this are actually somewhat large. You can kind of see there I put some boxes. Here I am creating kind of a sink. Yeah, lots of cuts because, again, we're just don't really have time to do all the things in the video, because I found out if they go over about 30 minutes, then the video starts doing significantly worse. And so we're going to put some fruits and vegetables in there. Not too much work on here shown on camera from what I remember, but here we are, just kind of putting some apples and pineapples, just kind of making it look a little bit more realistic in here. Like we're actually keeping some fruit and vegetables. And Saltworth was a little too big, so what I decided is I would put some soil so that you could place that soil kind of out to replace planters and things, and maybe you have like earthworms in there for like the otters, and the apes would also like earthworms, so add that to the forage box maybe. And then someone was like, "Oh, you're gonna make a kitchen, right?" And I want to say Monkey's Tavern did. Y'all should check out his channel as well. He's building blueprints for my next zoo. And so he was like, "You're gonna build a kitchen, right?" And I was like, "Oh shoot, I should build a kitchen." So this is my attempt to build kind of a simple food preparations area. And I just had to figure out exactly how I was going to create these sinks. So I used the duct. I don't remember who showed me how to do this. It might have been Caesar Creates. There's a decent chance. It might have been the St. Reginald Zoo as well. I don't know what this long pause is about. I thought I had gotten rid of all the long pauses, but as per usual, not. We're nearing the end, so we're just adding these faucets in. So adding those faucets in, and then just kind of bringing that sink, having the drains in, and then I wanted to put a knife in, but they didn't have knives, so I just add a cutting board. And here we're going to have some pallets, and then we're going to have an area here for waste. So, like, at least at the place that I work, we generate a decent amount of waste that go into these drums. And I figure zoos would create waste as well. You're going to have things like cleaning supplies that can't be disposed through the regular sewage, and then things like you might have oh, and that was what I used for the roof from Atom Up. I didn't show doing the whole roof, but here we get a kind of sweeping view of the habitats, and we'll have some more cinematic shots in the future. You can kind of see bits of that roof. Here we go over the Lar Gibbons habitat, Siamangs being in the middle. I really like this habitat, and then we're going to kind of sweep over this way, all the way over to our walkway, which I completed off camera as well. And we get this kind of crazy, this was really me finicking with the cinematic route editor, which I am still not very adept at doing, but I think I'm getting better at. And you can kind of see these custom information signs and things of that nature. And we've got our maintenance mechanic coming over. Yeah, and here this has the trash can and things like that. I'm going to end it here, and you can just kind of watch the animal cinematics to close us out. Thank you everyone for watching. If you liked this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.